Hi there, my name's Bryony. I'm a psychologist and the head of coaching here at Relish. And welcome to our YouTube channel. We'd love it if you'd subscribe and like the videos that you're enjoying, as well as leaving comments below on the videos. So today we are talking about relationship health, 15 questions to diagnose your love life. A lot of the time people can have the question, is my relationship normal? Is this relationship going somewhere? Are there too many deal breakers or red flags? And often we can use our friends or a therapist or a coach for advice. And it's good to understand that a lot of the time there's no kind of straightforward answer. A lot of it is based on what our own personal boundaries are. That said, there are some really helpful questions to ask ourselves that might clarify whether a relationship is right for us, or whether it's time to sort of move forward. So I'm just going to, give you a few questions that you can sort of reflect on and just give you a bit of background around why this is important. We put together these questions based on, some evidence from relationship researchers who talk a lot about trust, a lot about communication, commitment, and a future mindset as well. So I hope you find these helpful. Feel free to leave comments on the below the video if you'd like to know anything else, or if you have some recommendations for future videos as well. So the first question that you can ask yourself in terms of diagnosing a relationship is, am I fully satisfied with my relationship? So perhaps nobody's ever going to be fully satisfied with their relationship, but it can be helpful sort of reflecting on where you see the gaps are for you. So what's missing for you in your relationship? Do you feel like you're 90% there and that there's just that little 10% that you want to work on? Or are you feeling like every day you're actually experiencing feelings of disappointment, frustration, and resentment? So just getting a sense of how satisfied you feel with the relationship. And obviously if there's things going on in both of your lives, then you're probably not going to be bursting with joy, but just kind of checking in to see, am I satisfied right now? And if I'm not, when was the last time that I felt satisfied or hopeful for the relationship? The second question to ask is, do I feel seen and heard in the relationship? So this is kind of to do with communication, I guess, and it's a really big thing in relationships that one partner actually just doesn't feel heard or seen or acknowledged by their partner. This can be based on a number of things. It could be that maybe there's a difference in attachment style and their partner is sort of shutting down in these moments. It could be that their partner is struggling with mental health or communication. Whatever it is important to feel heard and validated by your partner. And it might be just as simple as helping them to build up skills in making sure that you feel heard. So even if you have fantastic communication and listening skills, this might not be something that they're particularly strong at. So just kind of having a think about, does my partner actually listen to me, and do I feel validated by them when we have conversations? The third question to ask is, do I feel appreciated by my partner? And this is probably to do with relationship length as well, because we find that the longer a relationship goes for, unless we actively make some effort, we can both start to feel less appreciated. So at the beginning, there's a lot of attention, there's a lot of kind of romance and intimacy, but this can fall off as we emotionally habituate to the other person. So just have a think, do I feel appreciated by my partner? Maybe I'm not coming home to roses and champagne every day, but do I feel that they appreciate my presence in their life? Do they thank me for things? Do I feel like they are grateful for, my presence? And vice versa as well. Do they feel appreciated by you? The fourth question is, am I comfortable being vulnerable with my partner? So this is an important one. Emotional safety is huge in relationships. If you're in a new relationship, that's probably not to be expected, that you'll feel totally comfortable being open and vulnerable, but just kind of having a think about, do I feel comfortable talking with my partner about things that are difficult for me? Do I trust that they will be receptive and open if I was to tell them something that was upsetting? Would I go to them for support if I was upset? And if the answer is no, and you're in a reasonably long-term relationship, that could be something to reflect on and consider, what's going on here. Again, is it that they don't have the skills, or are the relationship issues sort of impacting this closeness between us and the ability to offer support? The fifth question is, do I fully trust my partner? And this is a tricky one because, as you probably know, trust is based on someone's behavior, but also our own stuff as well. So if you've experienced issues with trust in your relationship, so if you've been cheated on before, if you have an anxious attachment style and you're feeling a bit insecure about relationships, your partner could be, not doing anything wrong, but you can still feel preoccupied and concerned about it. Or you could actually be picking up on some signs that your partner is perhaps not necessarily behaving in a trustworthy way. So just having a think about, do I trust them, I guess, in terms of fidelity, but also do I trust them to speak well of me when I'm not there? Do I trust them to, have my best interest in mind? And just reflect on this as well, because trust is fundamental to a relationship. Question number 6, do I laugh regularly with my partner? So of course, if things are going on in both of your life involving grief and loss, you're probably not laughing regularly. But when things are normal, do you have that opportunity to unwind and connect together? Do you make jokes? Do you both have some sort of little rituals that you do which make you laugh? If not, is this something that's changed? Has it ever been present in your relationship? The reason that it's such an important question is that fun and kind of friendship is a big part of a successful relationship. So, having that opportunity to have fun and connect is particularly helpful. Question number 7, do I envy my friends' relationships? So we don't really ever know what's going on inside a relationship, but if you're finding that you're looking at other people's relationships, whether that's on social media, in the, celebrity couples or even just friend couples, and you're feeling a bit jealous or feeling like you like that relationship, it's helpful to reflect on what you're actually looking at there. What do you feel that they have that you don't? What's missing in your relationship? What kind of stands out for you there? Because that'll kind of tell you where the work needs to be done. So maybe your friend's partner is physically affectionate and yours isn't. Maybe they're emotionally available and you're feeling like your partner isn't. So even though you perhaps don't actually want your friend's relationship, you're actually wanting something that you see acted out in front of you. Question number 8 is, do I feel prioritized by my partner? And this is really important, and of course we need to prioritize our partners too, but do you feel like you're an important person in their life? So sometimes in relationships that don't have clear definitions, this can be a really big struggle because perhaps you're not a priority, and perhaps they're, the other parts of their life are kind of taking precedence. And if that boundary's been set and the relationship's terms have been set like that, that's fine. But if you're in a committed long-term relationship, it is pretty important to be a priority. So to make sure that your partner isn't constantly changing plans or cancelling or putting their other interests in front of yours, such as work or their friendships. Question number 9, do I still learn new things about my partner? So even in really, really long-term relationships, it's important to kind of be surprised occasionally by your partner. And I guess this comes from having deep conversations and having new experiences. So we can think we know everything about somebody, and then we can kind of be put into a new situation and learn something totally new. So this is good to reflect on, because if you're not learning new things about your partner and if they're not learning new things about you, you could be at risk of kind of getting stale and, I guess sinking into that complacency that can happen in those long-term relationships. Question number 10, do I value my partner and do I value their advice? So I guess this would be around whether you treat your partner with respect and if you respect their opinions as well. So do you listen to your partner if they say something? Do you shut them down? Have you sort of lost your trust and respect, with them? If this is the case, then I'm guessing that there's something that's happened in terms of breaking down the communication between the two of you. So whether it's arguments that never got resolved, whether it's disappointments or frustration. So if you're feeling like you don't actually value your partner's input and you don't really respect their input, this is a pretty clear sign that something needs to change, and perhaps you need to change the communication style and find a way to be able to communicate directly and respectfully again. The next question is, am I comfortable disagreeing with my partner? So it might surprise you, but conflict is actually part of a healthy relationship. And if we don't feel comfortable disagreeing with our partner, that's a sign that something's broken down in terms of the communication and the conflict resolution. So maybe you had a few bad fights at the beginning of the relationship and now you are just determined not to have any bad fights again. Or perhaps you're you know, the arguments are so bad that you've both decided to kind of not raise conflict and just sort of let things slide. Whatever it is, it's really important to be able to disagree with your partner, because of course there's going to be situations where you both want different things. So this can be helpful to look at and maybe get some work on communication skills and building that up. Question number 12, do I feel loved? So this is important, and again, just like with trust, we have subjective ideas of love. So somebody can be loved but not feel loved. It could be that their partner has dismissing or fearful attachment and isn't great at showing that love, even though emotionally they feel it. So just reflecting on that, do you feel loved by your partner? Knowing them as well as you do you feel that they love you? Do you feel that they take action to help you feel loved? And vice versa. What are you doing to help your partner feel loved and to feel supported? Question number 13, do I want to spend time with my partner? So it's probably healthy not to want to spend all your time with your partner, but you know, if you're kind of dreading time spent with them, time spent alone, this could be a sign that there's some issues in the relationship. So it could be that you're both feeling anxious around each other because the conversation has broken down, or you don't have anything to say to each other, or you know that you're probably going to get into an argument as soon as you spend time together. So if you aren't wanting to spend time with your partner, it's probably good to reflect on this and maybe speak to a friend or a relationship coach about this issue and just kind of try to get to the bottom of what's going on here. You know, why don't I actually want to spend time with this person who I've chosen to be my life partner? So question number 14 is, do I desire my partner? And in any relationship, libido, desire ebbs and flows, and sometimes we can feel like it's been a long time between intimacy. But I guess the idea is, are you attracted to your partner? Do you desire them physically, emotionally, all that sort of thing? If you're feeling a big block about the desire, it's good to reflect on that as well and consider, when did this change for you? Is it to do with physical changes from having kids or going through life adjustments or going through illness? Is it to do with arguments between you? Is it to do with the power struggle? Because sometimes if there's a power imbalance in a relationship, desire can be blocked and libido can be blocked because there isn't that feeling of emotional safety. So it's good to just reflect on desire, and if you do still desire your partner, you know, what's getting in the way of acting on it? And if you don't still desire them, when did this change and what are the possible reasons? So question number 15 is, am I excited about the future? So depending on the day, we're probably at varying levels of excitement about the future. But when you think about your future with your partner, do you have a sense of hope and excitement and optimism, I guess? If you don't, it's probably helpful to reflect on that and to consider, you know, what am I worried about in the future then? If things were to stay exactly the same as they are with my partner, what could I expect? And perhaps what's leading me to look at the future without this sense of optimism or excitement? It could be that you're going through a rough patch at the moment, so you're not quite sure what things will look like. It could be that the relationship has been going downhill for a while and you can see that if it continues like this, things will be even worse. Or it could be that you've reached a stage of disconnection and you're sort of living separate lives, and so there's a sense of sort of ambivalence. If that's the case, it's really good to know that this can be addressed. I would definitely recommend a relationship self-care app like Relish, which is basically designed for partners to have low costs and accessible interventions for their relationship. So we know that relationship counselling is expensive and time consuming. It's also not for everyone. It can be pretty intensive, particularly for partners who aren't interested in therapy. But essentially the lessons and the coaching really address some of these issues that we've talked about today around disconnection, trust, security, intimacy, envy about other people's relationships. So our content and our coaching is based on the research from the experts that we really like. We use a lot of attachment theory and evidence base around connection and trust and that sort of thing. So I definitely recommend having a look at Relish. There's a 7-day free trial at the moment, so you can download it for free, try out coaching, try out lessons and content and see what you think. Like I mentioned, please feel free to leave comments below the video. Thanks so much for watching today, and see you next time.